One thing I really like about this show is something I really liked about the Dresden Files, the novel series, not the horrible TV show. That's something I wish they would bring back in a different way, maybe a movie or maybe a new TV show. Make it actually adapt the books this time. Just suggestion. But in the Dresden Files, you would start a book, and then the plot would start, and he would usually the time period in a book would be 2 to 3 days at the most, sometimes a week, but everything would be happening in a very compacted period of time. But there'd be months, sometimes over a year between books. Okay, so he'd have the end of a book, he'd be exhausted, he'd be in the hospital, he's used up all his magical tools, he's used up all his spells and all his potions, and he's busted up. He needs to sleep for a week, eat for a week, and then recuperate from his injuries. And so we're talking about it's like 2 weeks after the end of a book, he's wrecked. He's not doing shit. Then slowly picks himself back up. He starts like getting other side jobs where he actually makes money, little small things. And then a couple months after a book is over, he'll be okay. I need to start collecting magical tools and spells and potions again. So he'll spend a day making potions. Then he'll spend a day making tools. Like he'll make a bracelet that's a shield bracelet. And he'll make a ring that when he walks, the kinetic energy is stored into the ring. And then, just the act of, like, every time you swing your arms, let's say it gives you 1 amp of energy, right? Like this. You swing your arm like this and you get 1 amp of energy in this ring. You do it for a day, it's probably got several kilowatts of energy, right? Do it for a month, it's got a kiloton of energy. So you can use like 20% of this energy and knock somebody through a wall, right? But it took a month to store up that much energy. Typically, like I said, he'll have a year between books, right? So when the book starts, he'll have 2 to 3 of these rings. They'll be fully powered, fully charged. There'll be like so much charge, and you can use them throughout the course of the book. They'll eventually run out as a book as he's blowing people away, right? But it takes time. You need time between books to charge up the rings. And then he'll also have he'll have a staff that he's made, and he would have to sit there. And he said it would take days to make one of these staffs. You have to have the right piece of wood. Then you have to carve incantations and runes into the staff. And each rune may take a week to carve or a day to carve or something like that. And you have to polish it, and you have to sit there and imbue magic into the staff, right? Say a day's worth of magic that normally you'd be using to fight people up, but ain't shit happening. You're just sitting there, you're watching TV, you're drinking, you got a little snack there. You use up all the magic you would use to fight in a day, you put it into the staff, right? So you do what I'm talking about, the solitary prep work between missions is what I'm talking about here. Okay? So then he has magic wands. This all these things are foci. They focus. He has a natural magic that emanates from him, but he needs these tools to focus him in specific ways, right? So he has magic wand to focus. The staff will focus. The rings focus, right? And then he has a shield. He has to create shield bracelets that if somebody's attacking with energy weapons or something, he can throw this shield up here and it'll bounce the weapons off. He gets his hand burned really bad. He realizes he needs to make the shield where it protects you against temperature as well. He hadn't thought about that at first. So now he has to create a new shield that protects against heat. If somebody sends you a heat blast, it doesn't melt your arm, right? So he has to do this between books. So we never actually see this happen on screen, but he'll talk about it. He'll make a passing reference. He'll say, yeah, I spent 2 weeks last summer making a new staff. It took him 2 weeks to make the staff. And he had to make the new rings. He had to make the shield bracelet. And he's got a coat that has warding spells on it so that it'll protect against bullets and stuff like that, right? All this solitary by himself prep work, boring, grinding grunt work done between books. So when you start a book, he's got all these tools, all these weapons, and all these potions ready to go to kick people's asses. I love that stuff. I've always loved that. Most people probably pass right over it. I would sit there and think about it. Yeah, imagine that, man. He's sitting there. He's got the game on. He's got the Chicago. He's in Chicago, so he's probably got the Cubs, the Chicago Cubs. He's got the Cubs on the TV, and he's sitting there and he's rubbing his magic staff. You have a dirty mind. He's rubbing his magic staff with these oils, and to give it, imbue it with power, and he's putting magic into it and stuff like that. I would sit there and think about it. Think about just how much time and energy, homework it takes that you show up when you have to fight and you're ready to go. Because there's a filmmaking comparison to this. A producer, before you start a film, has to spend hours and hours, days, weeks preparing for the day of shooting on the set. Okay, we might need little light bulbs for the film lights that we're going to have. So let me get some of those. Okay, we're going to need batteries. We're going to need AAA batteries. We're going to need AA batteries. Let me get a bunch of those. I'll put them in the box that we take. This is the box that goes on set. You don't even worry about it. You load it during the week for 2 weeks before you start filming. Everything goes into the box. That way, the morning you get up and you go to the film set, you don't even have to look at the box. It's all there, right? Okay, we need, back before laptops and smartphones, you need to make sure you have 3 versions of the script. You have the dailies, then you have the shooting script, and then you have the original script you sent the actors. Make sure that's all in the box, right? Might need a couple extra shirts. What if somebody gets we got this one character in a white shirt. What if it gets messed up? We don't have time to get it clean. Let's put some shirts. You have to sit there and you have to think of every possible thing that can go wrong. Batteries are a big one. We don't think about batteries normally, but man, everything on set needs a battery. The microphone needs a battery. The audio devices need batteries. Sometimes lights for the camera has a separate battery, right? Like batteries are vital, crucial. Maybe you need a magic marker. You sure as hell need duct tape. Everybody brings duct tape. So there's a good comparison there. As a filmmaker, you spend so much time thinking about what do we need on set. So much time. The time on set is 12 hours. The amount of time preparing for that is times 10. If you're not spending 10 hours of prep time for every hour you're on set, you are a terrible producer. I typically spent 30 hours for every hour that I was on set, just thinking about everything. Of course, I was also working on the script. You know, a lot of times I was directing as well, right? So it'd be even more than that. But see, when you walk on set, people don't see the amount of time you spent preparing. They don't understand you spent 30 hours for every hour on set. But you know what they see? You're ready for anything. Shit, we ain't got no batteries. Yes, I do. Shit, we need regular invisible scotch tape. We can't use regular duct tape. Here we go. Damn, we need a magic marker. Here we go. We got this. They see that you're ready for anything. And I've had people say, God, how do you have everything we need in that box? Because I spent 30 hours thinking about it. What could we possibly need? We might need a magic marker in this color because that's the color of the wall. And we need when he was walking by the wall, he scraped it with his arm and got it dirty and we can't clean it. Nothing will clean it. Well, what if we use a magic marker? That way on camera, it's not a perfect match, but on camera, you don't see the smudge. That's happened before. And I had that color in the box because I knew what color the walls were. I had thought of this. That's probably my crowning achievement. People are like, damn, you got a magic marker that colors the wall? What the hell, man? Because I had thought of it. And it happened. Right? Because if you spend 30 hours thinking about it, eventually everything will come to mind. Clearly you can see the parallel here, right? My favorite characters in this series are the puppet masters, and this is just one of the reasons. You're sitting here 2 years ago, Pretty Boy is sitting there in his laboratory in some fortress somewhere. He's got a fire, he's got warm ale, you know, the remnants of a sandwich. He's sitting there in his chair and he's looking at his puppet. And he's like, you know what? What if we can pull the eyes back and stick out some needles and they will shoot little tiny pieces of poison at close range? So somebody's got the puppet like this and they've crushed the arms against the body of the puppet and they're about to destroy the puppet. We can roll the eyes back and this thing will come out and they'll spit poison straight in their mouth. He's sitting there thinking of this shit 2 years ago. So there's 2 components to that. First, now in my situation it's easy. Color. Wait a minute. I just have one box. There's like 100 things in the box, but there's only 100. The first thing is he had to think of it 2 years ago when he made the puppet. The second thing is on location, in a fight, he has to remember, wait a minute. One of my puppets has needle eyes. Is that the puppet there? That one, you have to remember what you did. Because he's got 100 puppets and each puppet can do a different thing. Probably 15 different things, right? So the degree of difficulty is way more for him. He has to remember all the puppets, what each one of them can do, and where what each one can do is in that moment, and who they're fighting and what they might need. The processing power, unparalleled. The amount of things you have to keep track of if you're doing 100 puppets, it's really hard to imagine, right? But I just want to say I love the aspect of sitting in your room and thinking up shit. And then applying them to your puppets. That's why I love the puppets so much. Because these people had to sit down. Each one of these things had to be thought of. Everything we've seen so far. Chest opens up, something pops out. Arm folds back, something pops out. They had to think of that shit, and then they had to make it. Making is the easy part. Thinking of it is hard. And, of course, mechanically, you got to make sure, well, what if the hinge doesn't work? Did you oil the hinges before you brought all your puppets on the field? What if it's dry air? What if it's sand? What if a little sand got in the hinge and now you can't open the arm, right? They probably don't have to worry about all that kind of crap, but in the real world, we would, right? Because these are the things that are problems. Again, we're on location. There's an old screen door. That door, the hinges were the loudest thing you've ever heard in your life. It was so annoying. And we had to have dialogue as they were walking in. Fortunately, I had oil in the box. So we oiled the hinges, and it worked. I love that. I don't know if anybody else cares. But I love that. I love imagining them sitting in their room 2 years ago thinking up this shit. At any rate, this is episode 27, and we're going on one. 3, 2, 1. Look at all those puppet bodies. But that's not the biggest issue right now. They stabbed the hell out of her. Bitch. I hate him in a good way. He's a really good character. It's not center mass. She may live. Center mass, I cut your spine. Shut the hell up. Bait and switch, man. That's what they do. Bait and switch. He was able to hand off somehow. Remember when I said F you? That's what I'm saying, man. Shut the hell up. She's in trouble, man. Why didn't she back up? She pinned? Because if he's got it elevated, she can't back up. She would do more damage. His angle must prevent her from backing up. Right. Of course it was. I mean, that wasn't even a question. She's going to give her the antidote. That gives you 3 minutes. That's the spirit. That perks me right up. As I record this, the news came out yesterday that Mike Tyson's going to fight Paul. The hell's his name? Jake Paul. Jake Paul. And he's in his late 20s, and Mike Tyson's 57. He'll be 58 when they fight. There's two schools of thought here. One, Mike Tyson's going to kill him because he's Mike effing Tyson. And Jake Paul's dabbles in fighting, but he hasn't been a professional fighter his whole life. The other school of thought is that being 58 in boxing is like being 100 in boxing years, like dog years. So I wonder what ninja years are. Is it more or less like the older you get, are you a better ninja or are you a worse ninja? Because the idea in boxing is you're worse. Like a year in boxing is really worth 3 years, right? You're older than you appear, right? So in ninjas, the mind should be sharper. Experience should give you an advantage. But what I was talking about in my intro, about how exhausting, or was it the end of the last episode? I think it was the end of the last episode. How exhausting it would be to be a ninja because you got to think of everything at all times. Does that take a toll over the years? What do you think? Do you think ninja years are more than us or less than us? Like, in other words, you're better at 50 than you were at 30. Or are you worse at 50 than you are at 30? The automatic would be to say old people are better, but I'm not convinced. I don't know. That's right. Slurp it all up. Yep, you figured it out. We got 6 more, so don't worry about the poison anymore. Now, you want to get this sword out of her? Yeah, because you're a selfish asshole. She wants to keep the sword in her so you can't use it against Granny. Okay, I got you. I like the piece of sword in his arm. Nice touch. Break that sword. His little weak puppet arm can't handle this. Man, she is tough as nails, man. Where was this in the first series? She's a bad MFer. Yeah, what's up, Granny? You don't even have a sword in you, and you get up and do something. Look, I know Granny gave him the. Oh shit! Yeah, look at that. See, now he had to sit in the laboratory and think of that. I'll put an extra knife inside the middle part of the arm, right? F this dude, man. Look at him with his flashbacks. That's right. You've been puppetized. Okay, not quite, but she was using her own puppets. I thought she puppetized him. I guess she can't do that because he has his own chakra. Finally, do something. Goddamn. Well, it's been real. Real bad. Oh, she used his own parents against her. That's right. That's why they did that flashback. Very nice. So you're attacking him on a mental level as well as a physical level. Look at him. Ah, shit. Right in his energy source. Oh, shit. That's right. Now you really are trapped. Yep. That's right. Get his ass. Right. That's that centerpiece, I think. Yep, I noticed it too. I couldn't help notice it. Same here, Granny. She punched the F out of it. Oh no, that's when she threw the thing. Okay, that's right. Have a puppet head. At the last second, he did a bait and switch. Yeah, he did. Look at those eyes looking at him. Yep, that's how they get you. Yeah, look at him. Yep, yep. There must be human organs in there. Maybe his brain is in there. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of bleeding out here. Thank you for noticing while you were giving us exposition. Imagine that, man. You got a sword through your body, and your person who could help you is over there talking to the bad guy. I'd be pissed. I'd be so mad. Oh, thank you for noticing I'm bleeding out. Jesus. Kill me, man. Well, you're gonna die too. What are you, the narrator? Huh. Yeah, yeah. Congratulations, you're dead. Yeah, that's right. You lose. Apparently, it's very important to him that she died, but I guess you're not gonna get that either. Now we're talking. Wait, is she gonna be a zombie? What are you talking about here? Yeah, that's quite a commercial break. We talking about zombification? Look at him. Well, this hurts him because it was very, very important to him that she dies. So now he's pissed. Oh shit! She was gonna reanimate him, so she's gonna sacrifice her life for Sakura. Oh, she was gonna do it for his parents. Shit. Shit. She's gonna bring his parents back to life. But you had to turn evil. Yep. You had to turn evil, or she would have done this for you. That's he has to believe this. His mom was cute. Yeah, safe journey. Yeah, good luck with that. Got some bad news for you, kid. That's why she hates him. I mean, we already knew that, of course. I'm just saying it. Just this just reinforces it. My thing is, he would have been evil anyway, right? Like, I don't think events make people evil. Maybe you can push somebody in one direction or another, but they had that in them all along. For him to be as evil as he is, that didn't just happen because a lot of people lose their kids at this age or lose their parents at this age. Not all of them turn into this. So this was in you. You were already this. Yeah, they went to a farm. Yeah, they're there with Rover. Remember when Rover went to that farm 2 years ago? They're there with Rover. Sounds dubious, Granny. See, I have a talent. My chakra tells me when people are lying. Yep. I don't. I don't know if they're trying to say he only turned evil because his parents died. I don't know if that's what they're doing, but like that's not what happened. I mean, that's not what happens. Now, there are things, like say you start off with good intention, would get revenge on the people who killed your parents, and you have to do a little bit of something, a little bit evil to make that happen. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Man, look at him. He's got his little workshop. He has all these little pieces. This took him weeks, man. He is working. Kid's good at this shit. So, but then, like, you got to go a little bit further, then a little bit further, a little bit further. It could take years, a long, slow slide into darkness. I think that's possible. I don't know if that's what happened here, though. He's pissed. Damn, you an asshole. She's about to jump up, and then you're going to be really mad. And Granny's gonna drop dead. How is she getting up? It's almost like the old woman's telling the truth. Isn't she? I'm just gonna be really hurt. Excellent. I'll die later. Yeah. Well, that was just petty. You could interrogate him. I know. Yeah, that was petty as hell. Calm down. Yep. He's such a dick. Because you're an asshole. That's my point. Yeah, thousands of people he killed. You think that's because he lost two parents? Psh, doubt it. He was always this. Yeah, we need to go, man. I don't believe that either. Yes, you are. You're about to die. Right? I gotta keep reminding myself she's like 16, so. Not very much longer. Hey, I like the sound of that. Hell yeah. Come on, gimme. Really? Interesting. Yeah, yeah, you're not gonna make it. Good shit, dude. Probably a trap, but still. Because again, deception. You would never take anything they say or do at face value. Oh, I'm gonna do a pointless gesture. Yeah, sure you are. It's probably gonna be a Orochimaru himself showing up or Sasuke, right? You don't kill that many people because the Sand Village raised you the wrong way or you lost your parents. I just don't buy it. You do that because you were always a killer. Maybe. I'm checking every other puppet in this battlefield. Really? Yeah, I think you see what you want to see. It's possible. He was tired. The little tiny shred of humanity left. A little bit of that little boy. It's possible, I guess. But sometimes you can lose, man. I don't care how badass you are. You're going to lose at some point. I've been sitting there meditating for 2 hours. Let's do this. Hell yeah. Place cliffhanger here. Yes. Absolutely 100%. I gotta say, man, I really like that. I love the character, Pretty Boy, and I love the resolution. If this is the end of him, brilliantly done. Just very, very well done. This series is off to a great start. So yeah, that was all great. Basically, my philosophy is summed up in the show The Unit. If you haven't seen it, it's a great show. It's you have to be you have to have a particular kind of taste to actually like it. It can be over the top or cheesy for a lot of people. Me growing up in a military family, it just really hits me the right way. But if you don't know any military people, you never grew up in a military family, maybe you wouldn't like it. The ratings were bad. So, but as soon as they said this dialogue I'm about to tell you about, I was like, yeah, this is what I've always believed. I could never articulate, but I've always believed this. They were talking about somebody who had hit his wife, and he promised to never do it again. And so he left, and there's two people in the room, right? And one of them turns to the other and says, "Do you think people can change?" And the other guy says, "Nope. I've seen it, though." I effing love that. It epitomizes my belief. What I think about humanity, what I think about people. No, people can't change. People don't change. But I've seen it a couple times. So, in other words, it can happen, but you might as well be trying to hit the lottery, right? So, do we think he had a little shred of humanity that he allowed himself to die at the end? I like to think he just got defeated. You know, it was a good move. She used his own parent puppets against him, and there could be that just slight hesitation. Maybe we're talking the same thing here, but it's not that he wanted to die. It's that he was like, wait a minute, parents. Just it could just take an infinitesimal half second. That's all it takes, and then you get got right. We'll never know. It's open to interpretation for a reason, right? We can all believe what we want to believe, but I think he got. I think he was just defeated. He's awesome, but sometimes the heroes are better, you know. So, but if you want to believe that, if you want to believe like he had a little shred of humanity left that they reached at the last moment, he's like, "F it." Especially if what he said about the bridge is true, and there's no trick there. There's no trap. It's not some hideous fighter who could defeat half a planet, right? Like for instance, Sasuke shows up. Not what you were advertising, which means it was a trick. If everything he says about the bridge is on the up and up, and there's no trap, maybe I'll believe that he did want to die and he just wanted to do a little service to them, a pointless action, right? If it's a trap, then we know he just got.